Hey, 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 hey. It's the one you've been waiting for. Yes, I've had... Oh, let me sort that out. Going back to the basic setup. Just doing this in the bedroom. Just can't find my stand. Can't find nothing. Can't get me mic piece to work. So I will start by apologising if the audio of this video is poor. But I did one the other day without microphone, and that was my Manchester United review / look ahead. Go back and watch it if you haven't seen that yet. And the audio was okay, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So here we go then. You've waited for it. I've had many questions. When's it going to be? And it's here. This is my review of 2025 and look ahead to 2026 for the radio industry. And I will be doing my top 10 favourite radio shows of last year, what to expect from this year. In particular, I think it's going to be a big year for BBC Radio 1. Don't ask me why, I just get that feeling. Okay, but we can get into that in a bit. And please do, as I've loved it. I loved last year's one. I've loved all my radio ones. Seem to get a lot of comments, a lot of feedback, and I try to message and reply to every single one of you. And I thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe to the videos. I will try and do as many as possible this year. I'm not going to do the Jack Saunders impression on the chart. I'm not going to play the chart music. I'm just going to get on with it because I'm watching. If you haven't seen it, the one from last year is honestly one of the most car crash videos I've ever done. I ran out of percentage on my phone. I lost the will to live. Mrs. Flash was literally flashing at me. Of course, you didn't get to see that, but it was just so. It was just so funny and so crap, unbelievably. So today I'm just going to get on with it and tell you what's what. But yeah, should we get into it then? Right. My thoughts on 2025 as a whole. It was, for me personally, really good because I was back in the industry and I still am, and I'm loving it. So before we get into it, I'm going to have a little plug here. Head to reachonair.com if you've got a smart speaker, if you've got your Alexa or anything else. Sorry if I just said it off. If you've got any of those, go into your app for that service and enable it to play radio station reachonair.com. We are, I'm going to say it, the greatest internet radio station in the world. It's fantastic. It has something for everyone. We've got music going far back to the 50s, and we've got music right up to date. We've got funny shows, as in proper amusing stuff. We have got, we've just got something for everyone. And I'm going to big up the guys because I would do a top 10 just of Reach On Air if I could. But a lot of you are here to see who my favourites are in mainstream radio. So that's why I'm doing that. But as a side note, if you do get the chance, there's no reason why you can't. Check out reachonair.com, not just to listen to my shows. I'm there Monday mornings, Wednesday mornings, 11 a.m. till 1, and also Thursday nights is my main show, 8 till 10 usually. I'm having a little break from that because I am launching Flash. I can't remember the title. I'm doing a love show from next Tuesday night, 8 till 9 every Tuesday night up until Valentine's week. Where I'll just take your requests and dedications, nice love stories, and just plenty of love songs for an hour. It's like my audition to be on Magic. No, not auditioning. No, I'm very happy to Reach On Air. Unless the money talks eventually, of course. But that's way down the line. Reach On Air is my absolute bestest place to be, and I want to big up those that Reach On Air. So if you haven't checked them out yet, Chris Reardon is our breakfast show host, I would say, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. It's a fantastic laugh for an hour. It's a good way to start your day, and quizzes, games, and If you like your dance music, Chris Reardon brings you absolute dance bangers every Monday to Friday from, sorry, tried to make this seamless. Pause the video because we had someone at the door. And it's not seamless at all because I'm now out of breath. So Chris Reardon does Monday to Friday 9 AM till 10 AM. Great dance bangers and your daily ABBA songs. He's a big ABBA fan, and lots of great fun and laughs. And he's also on Tuesday nights from 9 until 11 PM. So when I start my Love Hour next week, he will be on straight after me, so check him out. And then we also have, I've got to mention Mr. Ross Patzelt. He is the man that brought me back to radio. Mr. Ross Patzelt. He is with the Reach On Air family, and I was on his show yesterday. Go check it out. Head to reachonair.com. Look at the schedule pages. 10 AM yesterday morning. He surprisingly phoned me up. I held my hands up to Ross Patzelt. I did not listen to a big chunk of yesterday's show. I'm normally a religious listener, not religious, but yeah, you know what I mean. I always listen to his show. I love his show. He makes me laugh, and yeah, he phoned me out of the blue. I didn't realise I was going to be on it because I was knees deep in the Manchester United mess, so I was very much focused on that yesterday morning, as long with my son being off sick as well. So it's been all go in the Flash household. Who else we got? My absolute fave duo on the radio. I would have said Nat and Vicky at one point. I would have said, you know, there's many great duos on the radio, and a lot of them I'm now forgetting for some reason. But Tim and Roz, check them out every Friday evening, 6 till 7 PM. Gateway to the weekend. It's husband and wife doing radio together. She's the producer, and she likes to interfere with his show. I say interfere, but it's help out on the show and remind him and nudge him, as every good wife does with a husband. But she's also grown in confidence. She's fantastic, Roz, and she now has her own show. You've got the DJ Rozzy show across the schedule. That's a great thing about Reach On Air. It's so flexible. From one day to the next, the schedule can sound so different. And like I said, something for everyone. And she's now our second female voice on Reach, because officially we only had DJ Di, usually weeknights from 11 PM, and also Friday nights. Yes, it's become my I don't know why. Friday nights from 7 PM. She has absolute great dance bangers from 7 PM until 9 PM. It's the Friday Feeling with DJ Di. Lots of great new dance tracks and classic dance tracks, and she takes your requests as well. Fantastic Di up in Scotland. Owen Andrews on a Friday night as well. Amazing radio voice with the big retro show. Alan Ross does our midnight show. So there's not enough nighttime radio around, in my opinion, to get Alan Ross on at midnight, all the way up there in Newcastle. That's the thing, we broadcast from all across the country, all across the world. We've even got Dr. Love now, who's quite famous in the Philippines. So he's a part of Reach On Air now. My boys, Harry with the Big Get Up is a fantastic show, always themed. My puppy's about to bark. He does the Big Get Up on Saturday mornings from 8 AM, and he's on just before me on a Thursday from 6 PM till 8 PM. Always a theme to the show, although he says he might mix it up a bit this year, so looking forward to that. And then on, tell this is amateur and there's no studio, I've got a dog barking outside which is setting my puppy off, and I'm trying to concentrate on this. My man Dan the Music Man, he's usually on Wednesday nights 7 till 9 PM. Although if you go back through the schedule of the last 2 weeks, he's been on loads. He's made the most of his time off, and he's done some fantastic shows. Big G does our early breakfast show from 7 a.m. I'm going to end up forgetting someone, aren't I? No, I am. I've picked up my show. I've done Harry. Go check out Reach On Air. There's so many fantastic shows, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, it is the best internet radio. Shut up, dog! Shush! Come over here. Come make a guest appearance. Here she is. It's Bella. Are you going to subscribe? No. Right. Let's get into it, folks. 10 minutes in. Let's crack on. Right. So, my thoughts. Here we go. I think it's time for a week. My top 10 favourite radio shows of the year. I'm going to give you the big exclusive right now. It's between 3 breakfast shows in the top 3 and also 2 shows from last year's countdown do not feature. 606 from 5 Live. I've always been a big fan of Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage, but I have to say since the start of this football season, it's gone downhill because Robbie's never there on Saturdays. Chris doesn't turn up half the time. He's obviously busy elsewhere. Shut up, dog. And yeah, that's the situation. So I dropped it. Also Simon Jordan, and I'm going to have to pause. Hang on a second. Chris Sutton, Simon Jordan, and what's his name? Jim. I can't remember his name. Jim someone. Talk Sport. It'll come to me halfway through the rest of this bit. Yeah, I've gone off it. I just can't. I think Simon Jordan's a right arsehole, if I'm honest. I will listen to some of it. I have been listening the last few days with the Manchester United situation, so I just like to get their point of view sometimes. Jim White, and I forget White. That's it, Jim White. Right, top 10. My top 10 favourite shows of 2025. Number 10 is Jo Whiley. I think she's been on cracking form. Her evening show is fab. Monday to Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. I like Jo. She was my favourite mid-morning Radio 1 host ever. And she really suits the evening. I think she was in my top 10 last year, and she ain't going nowhere. I love the show. It's great. The first half hour you got banging tunes, and then the rest of the show you got a mixture of classics along with some new stuff, because of course she's always been the queen of new music. So big fan of Jo. And also Mr. James King pops up, and I'm a big fan of films as well, so I like to hear what he has to say about the latest releases. Yeah, great show. Number 9. It's a show that's never live. It Sounds of the 90s with Fern Cotton. Oh, I love this show. I love it. Every week Fern takes us back to that decade of music, which is widely considered the greatest decade of all time. And I don't know if I agree or not, but I do love it, and it's obviously nostalgia. Feels got so many memories from back there. So that's on Saturday nights from 10 p.m. on Radio 2 and also on BBC Sounds. As you'll notice, BBC Radio 2 is dominating this chart so far. And number 8 is Trevor Nelson. His new show from 2 till 4 p.m. I say new, it's been on a year now, launched a year ago. Obviously taking over Scott when Scott moved to the breakfast show. It's phenomenal. It is just, when you compare it to all the other shows that are on at that time of day, it's different. It sounds different. Like it's like 90% soul music, and the rest will be playlisted. And I didn't like him back in the day, but I do. I am a big fan of Trevor, and I like the show. It's as simple as that. I really, really enjoy it, and it stands out. Sticks out like a sore thumb in a good way. At number 7, BBC Radio 1's Matt and Molly. I told you about duos earlier on, and I forgot to mention them. They are superb, so funny together. I actually got to speak to them at the back end of last year, because I was going to be a guest on a feature that they do, the 5 to 2 quiz. Sadly, that didn't happen because the phone quality on this phone is awful when it comes to audio. So new phone incoming soon, and hopefully be able to get a chance to get back on the 5-2 quiz at some point. But they were lovely to speak to. Number 6, back to BBC Radio 2. It's the most listened to show in the country. It's Vernon Kay. He cracks me up. And now, excuse me, his whole team now have microphones. They used to just echo in the background, but they are very much involved in the shows. And I love it. It's got something for everyone. Vernon is on fine form as of late, and he's just superb. I love Vernon Kay. He does a cracking job, and I actually think he's now climbed my charts. I think he was like number 9 or something last year. So number 6, great show. Number 5, The Chris Moyle Show. Some might be surprised it's this high up. Pippa's gone, Jam Eater's now gone, but the show's still good. I listened to the first one the other day, first one of the year. It does feel like it's missing something now, with Pippa and James gone. So maybe come the end of this year, it won't be on my list. But Moylesy is an icon for me, and one of my, well, probably my radio goat. And I love the show. Always have done, always will. Number 4 is Tea Time with Sarah Cox on BBC Radio 2. For me, it's the best drive show out there. She's wacky, she's wonderful. What an achievement she had for Children in Need last year. What a challenge. We love her. She is like Marmite. Some people don't like her, but I personally love her. I love her even more now than when I did when she was on Radio 1. She is fantastic, and the shows feature so many features, so much great music. Love it. Right, top 3 time. I said at the start it's between 3 breakfast shows. Now remember, last year my number 1 was Capital Breakfast with Jordan, Chris and Sean. Is it keeping the top spot? Or do we have a new Titan taking over? Speaking of new Titans, number 3 is the Scott Mills Breakfast Show. I said I wasn't going to be cheesy. I love them jingles. Love them. It's great. The Scott Mills Breakfast Show is fantastic. It's more, as we were crying out for. I remember doing the video last year before it started. We wanted more of the old Scott from Radio 1, and it is. And Ellie Brennan is a great member of the team as well. I love it. It's fantastic. Love the features, and again, music. Scott is a great way to start the day. I really enjoy it. Like I said, with all these great breakfast shows, it's hard to cram them all in. There's so much good stuff out there. There's a lot of listening it back I have to do throughout the days, and as time, sometimes you can't listen to it all. It's impossible, but it's cracking. I love it, and Scott Mills now features on my list. He wasn't there last year. He was an honourable mention, which I'm not doing this year. My honourable mentions went to Rich on Air Massive. So, top 2 time. Last year, as I said, Capital Breakfast was number 1, and the mighty Greg James was number 2. What is my number 2 this year? My runner-up in my favourite radio show of 2025 is Radio 1 Breakfast with Greg James. It is honestly such a good show, and Greg is on fire. I loved him doing Christmas Day. I love the energy Greg's given, and the whole stuff he did at the end of the year with the Rogue Promises. And a lot of people fear it's coming towards the end. I don't know. But he cracks me up every morning. We all laugh with him. It's stupid nonsense. We don't take life too seriously if you listen to the Greg James Show, and I love it. It's. I said last year it was almost a tie between this and Capital Breakfast, but once again, Capital Breakfast takes the top spot because I don't know. It's Jordan, Chris, and Sean. Whenever I listen to the shows, I'm almost wetting myself with laughter. it feels like you're down the pub with your mates, and they just crease me up. The only niggling thing I get annoyed with, but it's a commercial radio thing anyway. It's the competitions after competitions. It gets a bit much, particularly like December, and now even January they're doing it as well. Every hour, every top of the hour, they start the show, they start the next hour. You could be 200,000. I don't care. I'm not interested in that. I know they've got to do it because they've got to make their money and blah, 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 blah. But that's my only gripe with it. But the show, when you think we had the sensational news that Chris had been diagnosed with testicular cancer, and when he came back recovered, and he was able to use the platform for us men to go and check ourselves, it was brilliant. And Sean becoming a mum, and all that just it's just a general. When I say about you being down the pub with your mates, that's what it does. I love this show, and the 6 a.m. club, the 6 a.m.ers. Shh, don't tell everyone. It's an exclusive club, 6 till 7 a.m. Shh. Great, awesome stuff. So when I'm up early, which I am most of the time with the dogs, it's always on for me. I love it. I love the show. I feel like the show is increasing in popularity because, despite what some people have said on my comments here, I message the show pretty much daily, and I don't think I always get read out, but sometimes I can't always hear. I'm distracted with school run and blah, 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 blah. But I always try and send them a message every day and react to the show as it goes. And Jordan as well rescued a dog from the river, from the River Thames. What a legend. It's had everything. And I looked at some of their highlight reels on Instagram and stuff like that. It's just a brilliant show. It really, really is brilliant. I cannot believe it. My phone is dying. Bear with me. Much like last year, it's been destined to fail, this video. I had like 25%. It's just, I know doing videos does sync up the juice, but yeah, I'm literally sitting here with the phone charging, and the phone charger's rubbish, so it always falls out and blah 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 blah. But I've got to try and do this and be sensitive. It's a fab show, great show, and now you've got to look at my fat chin for the rest of this. I'm going to move on to 2026 predictions. I'm going to go straight in with BBC Radio 1. I'm trying to get rid of the fat chin. Hopefully by the time I do this next year there won't be a fat chin, but you never know. Oh, God's sake, what an amateur. BBC Radio 1, I predicted it last year. Dean McCulloch's going to leave. I just have that feeling. Ricky Melvin and Charlie are going to leave. I just have that feeling. Vic Hope, sadly, I think he's going to leave. Which means there'll be shuffling. I said at the start of the episode, just blew something off with my nose. I don't know what the hell that was. Somehow got a bit of dust there. There will be promotions. There will be a shuffle. There will be new people arriving at BBC Radio 1. I can see Sam and Danny getting promoted to weekdays. I can see Jerry being called up to weekdays as well, because he's being used a lot, particularly on Going Home. And I can see Lauren Redfern also coming up as well, because she is like the voice of Radio 1 anthems now. I do feel like there's something more in the pipeline for her. This camera angle is now really annoying me. Sorry about this. I can also see Emil Franchi. If you didn't hear him over the Christmas period, go back to BBC Sounds and listen. In the Crimbo Limbo week, he was with Lauren Redfern. They were a duo covering 2 till 6 p.m. They were phenomenal. Milo and Rosie covered breakfast last week. They were great. In fact, I'm really missing them this week. It's amazing to have Greg back, but they just had a different energy. They brought something different, and I really do feel like, with Dean leaving, could they go and take early breakfast? Ricky, Melvin and Charlie potentially leaving. With my I'll come back to that in a minute with Dean. Going Home could be shuffled. And the only shows I can see staying as they are Greg James on Breakfast still, despite the rumours. I think he's going to smash it into 8 years this year in August. 8 years on Breakfast, and then I think he'll do 9 years next year, beating Moyle's record, and then he'll be there for the Radio 1 60th anniversary show. 60th anniversary. They'll do celebrations for it, and then I think he'll leave after that, shortly after that. But you never know. It's going to be a big year, and I can see some big changes and a lot going on. I may do a separate episode on my predictions for it, but there's going to be massive changes. I can just feel it, and it's been over a year since the last changes were announced, and Aled loves a shuffle. He loves a shuffle. Those pairings he's tried over Christmas. Yeah, there's something going to happen. And also with Emil, I said about Emil joining the Geordie. He's such a good lad. Liked him. He's now left Absolute Radio. He left just before Christmas or during Christmas, whenever it was. And I was a bit like, ooh. And then if you look to his Instagram, Jeremiah Asiyama, who was also, I'm predicting, is going to get a promotion, said it's like comparing, it was a football analogy. I can't remember what it was, but stepping up to the main league or whatever. He's coming to Radio 1. 100%. I DM'd him, I wished him well, and he said he's just going to take a break. There's more to it than that. But of course he wouldn't tell me. Moving on to Radio 2, I think it might be a bit of a quiet year for them. Obviously they'll do loads of great stuff. But I think Scott Mills might lose some listeners. I don't know why. I just get that feeling. Jeremy Vine to be replaced by Tina Daheley. I still dangle that one. Will that happen this year? Maybe next year? I do think it's going to happen at some point. But when? We'll see. Commercial radio, that's where I go on to next, with Heart officially becoming the UK's #1 station. That's my prediction. Yeah, disappointingly. That's where I say with Scott losing listeners and all that. Oh, my battery's going again. Good Lord. Don't do that to me. I think I'm alright. 2%, but we're charging. Chris Moyle show. Will it come to an end? I really hope not. But with all the changes, I can't help but feel maybe he feels the time is right to move on. Don't know. Just keep an eye on that one. Virgin Radio and Talk Sport, I think, are going to increase in numbers. Jeff Lloyd's now part of Virgin Radio. I'm not a big fan of his, but I respect him as a radio name. Big up to Ben Jones, who's now got Monday to Friday 2 till 6 p.m. on Virgin. Virgin's a good station. I like it. Talk Sport, but they were growing last year, and I can see them still growing. I can see radio as a whole absolutely smashing it once again with big numbers, and I think it's going to be a great year. And because my phone is nearly dead, that is that. Let me know in the comments what you think, what your own predictions are. I've seen some really bold ones, like Jordan North, Chris Stark and Sean Welby are going to leave Capital Breakfast. Well, we haven't even got to 2 years yet. And Dean McCulloch will replace them. Nope. I think, Dean McCulloch. KISS have still not announced who is going to be taking over the Drive Time show, because obviously their Drive host is moving to Breakfast this month, I think, with whatever her name is. Strictly, I don't know who it is, but whatever. They said early part of this year KISS will announce who the new Drive host is. Dean McCulloch. watch this space. I know he was ill over Christmas and everyone was speculating, but I got a funny feeling it's Dean. We shall see, in which case we'll have a Radio 1 shuffle very, very soon. Thanks very much all. Get your comments in below, like the video, subscribe and share it if you can. If you're a radio lover, radio enthusiast like me, let's spread the word on the Flash Talks, and I'll do, well, I mean, if anything breaks on radio news, I'll be here. And I'm now falling onto my bed. So that's me done. Thank you very much, and a happy new year to you.